Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Girl What? I'm joined today by Tristana.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Let's go.
I think
Happy
last time
birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Today is my birthday, which as an adult is
just the same.
Is a rainy Wednesday.
That's it.
It's fine.
It is weird. Sometimes I miss like waking up and feeling that magic inside.
Yeah.
Like I remember, I think on my birthday I woke up and I thought about everything I had to do that day.
Yeah.
I was like,
I know as a kid it was like countdown.
Literally magical.
Yeah. And now I'm like, well, I had an art today and
now we're the sprinklers of magic. I think that's more fun.
I think it's more fun.
Yeah, I do too.
But so I look forward to their birthdays. And I'm like, oh, not mine.
Yeah.
No more for me.
I'm good.
How was your Wednesday?
Listen, it's the busiest day ever.
Yeah.
Again, it's just you just wake up and it's just like this long list of things to do.
And then you are lay down and you're like, what do I have to do tomorrow?
Oh, I know. I'm already like, well, I gotta do this and this and this. Trying to live in the moment too, so.
At least until next week.
Oh my gosh. We've been counting down. How long?
We started counting down at like 150 days or something.
I think I got the tickets October 5th because I had to go back and look in my inbox.
Which is like 6 months, a little over 6 months to the concert. So that's what, 180 days?
Oh my gosh.
Right?
I
don't know. Is that half of 360?
I don't know. Stop. I can teach your kids.
Anyway, yes, we're going to see Morgan Wallen next week.
In God willing.
Mississippi? If he gets his act together.
Gosh. I'm like, Morgan,
Couldn't you have done that in 2 weeks?
Literally.
Don't care.
Did you see that they were saying that like it was like stemming from his ex-fiance or whatever getting engaged?
His baby mama.
Yeah.
Oh, she got engaged Friday. She got married Sunday. He threw the chair Sunday night. Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't shock me. But it also said that she got married because his custody, like he had it arranged that she can't live with anyone or no one can live with his kid until she got married. So she hasn't been dating that long. Got engaged Friday, married Sunday.
Did you see what he looks like?
The knockoff Morgan Wallen?
Yes! Somebody said he definitely has a type. She definitely has a type.
Yeah. Did you see what she looked like before she met Morgan? You know, she met him at a concert, right? At one of his concerts. Yeah. And she was...
No, she did not.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. And she looked very not like what she looks like now.
She's beautiful.
She was before, but she looked very normal.
Oh.
Anyway, we'll go back and show you pictures.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Well, she was beautiful either way, but it was just like, she looks different.
Yeah. Well,
anyway,
I would too.
she like lived the dream though.
Yeah, I was about to say, I would look different too.
And their child is beautiful.
Yeah.
He's beautiful. Anyway.
Sidetrack.
For anyone else who wants to marry Morgan Wallen, you just go to his concert, get backstage. I don't know.
There should be a chair.
Yeah, leave them Broadway chairs alone.
Yeah, just please quit doing dumb stuff until after Oxford, please.
Seriously, after that, you're free. Whatever. Live your life.
It's going to be so much fun.
I cannot wait. If you live in Memphis or in Oxford, Mississippi, just beware. We're on the loose with no adult supervision.
That's what I was thinking. Next Friday,
we're gonna go play.
I'm literally just gonna be there. Not a mom.
Nope. Nope.
Just gonna be me.
Out in the wild.
Oh, on an airplane.
Oh boy.
Now let me tell you, I'm a little nervous about the rental car thing. I've never rented a car before. So
never?
No. I mean, Chris has.
I have. That won't make you feel better. It wasn't a great experience. But I was just 25. Zach and I flew to California. And I didn't realize you had to have like a credit card. Like back then it was just a credit card. Now they accept major debits.
Oh.
Most of them do. Last time I rented, they let me do a debit card.
Oh. Just put on file.
You know how many wrecks I've had, so I've had to rent several cars here.
I love you.
And I don't have a credit card. Anyway, it'll be fine. And it's going to be a surprise, so they're going to pull around the car.
It's got like, oh my God.
A clown car.
Oh my God. A freaking semi-truck.
I'll say no. I'm like, I don't have the insurance to cover a semi-truck. No way.
No, thank you. Say no, thank you.
Say no, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, I've been waiting to talk about this I've had this subject saved in my Reddit forever.
Oh.
It's so full of stories at this point.
Oh, boy.
Because I saved it. I mean, the last time we recorded was January. Remember when we talked about the 85 days of January? Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. And our resolution winning?
Oh, yeah, flourish.
Listen, that alarm is winning right now to get up to go to the gym.
I'm flourishing in some areas. Does that count?
It's...
It didn't say all around flourish.
At this point, it's just 2025 is our year. That's
2025.
This
quarter.
Oh my gosh. A fourth of the year is already done.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
When you think about it that way.
Well, and then the next one's like the fun summer months, and then it's the fall, and then it's...
We have a great summer lined up.
Holidays. Oh my gosh, the summer is going to be insane.
Yeah. I'd love to take some equipment and record like from all the different places.
I know. I wish we could take it with us to Memphis.
I know. I've got to figure out a way. I think I figured something out, but...
Did you?
Uh-huh.
How?
Well, I think there's like tiny mics.
Oh.
And I think I'm going to order when they're not expensive, and I'll plug it in my phone, and we can just literally, or, I could bring my laptop. It's not a huge deal. And a backpack.
Well, I think I'm bringing my computer too, so.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
That's going to be a
post-brunch episode. Remember our midweek episode?
Oh, my gosh. Do I?
I thought it was hilarious.
I was cracking myself up.
Yeah. Anyway, I've had this subject forever. It's insecurities.
Okay.
So,
what's the first thing that pops to your head when you hear that word?
Insecure?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody.
Is it a word that you would describe yourself as?
Yes.
Really?
In some ways, in some ways not.
Really?
Okay, I'll say this. Like, I'm very secure about who I am as a person. Yeah. Like, I don't make any apologies for like who I am, but like physically, I think I'm pretty insecure.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so remember when we talked about like not reading the room? So I feel like I am such a secure, and this does not sound, again, I feel like I'm so secure that it almost like is a weakness.
Yeah.
Because I look fine. And I'm like, sis, you don't look fine. And when I see pictures, I'm like, what? But I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then I'm also very secure, like with my marriage, that I'm just like, Chris, do whatever you want. Right. Because I don't apologize for who I am, because I probably won't talk to you.
Yeah.
But I can't stand insecurities in other people that are projected. So,
okay. Yep. That's that.
Is that what?
It's the projection that bothers me.
Yes. And so that's why I'm like, and I guess I struggle that too, because there are women that are insecure.
Yes.
And since I don't deal with it, sometimes I feel like I struggle
having patience
or the empathy. I don't have the empathy, because I'm like, why is she upset? Why is he mad? Because I'm like, you know what I mean? Because it's something that they're dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the projection of insecurities that is like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. You have insecurities, fine. I think it's a very normal human thing. Don't put it off on anyone else. It's not my problem.
Yeah. Apologizing for...
I shouldn't have to apologize when I've done for how you feel if I haven't done anything.
Yes. Uh-huh. No, I agree with that.
Yes.
Again, which is where I feel like maybe I'm sometimes on like, not even like, this is not even like on the spectrum, because I'm just like, I can't read a room sometimes. You know what I mean? Because, but then it goes back to that. I'm secure. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tell you.
Oh yeah. So the first thing is from Ask Reddit, and it says, "What screams I'm insecure?" I love asking Ask Reddit things. People are just.
Did you write this?
I did not, actually. This is from a year ago.
What screams insecure to you?
What screams am insecure? Oh, there's lots of things.
I immediately, you know where I went? I went to social media.
Uh-huh.
I went to the social media.
100%.
Which is funny, because if you
I would love to do a social media episode.
I post everything on social media.
Me too.
Everything.
Open book.
Yeah. But I think it's, and again, and this is where maybe I'm reading the room incorrectly. Yeah. But it's the people that are like convincing people. It's not like, today was the best day. It was like people that are convincing other people of how wonderful their life is.
Yep.
Like that. Yep. That is, to me, immediately where my mind said what screams insecure.
Yes.
Yeah. Or the joint Facebook.
Uh-huh. I don't understand that. There was a meme the other day, and it was like people with a joint Facebook, and it was like this couple that they've melted like in the middle, and they're like, I couldn't imagine like sharing. It's gonna be in the vows one day, like, two become one. It's like two will share one Facebook.
But what is the reason? Like, everybody's like, which one cheated? And I know that's not always the case, but like,
And it's just like, if one doesn't want to use social media, well, then they just don't have one.
That's it. Bye.
I mean, if you have a joint Facebook, sorry.
Well, also, like, I don't want Chris's friends sending me these stupid 6th grade level humor videos. Yeah. Like, and you're throwing off my Morgan Wallen algorithm.
Right.
Like,
well, and I'm like, I send a lot of memes to, like, you and Casey, like, all day long. So, like, I don't want Zach to be annoyed with that. Right. He would be like, stop, stop.
No, that would be 150%.
I'm like, you can look through it anytime. It's dumb.
Okay, and what else? So that was my next thing. Going through phones. And I know there's couples that are like, you should be able to put your phone down, and the person, I totally agree with that. But it's like the constant, if you, to me, check your spouses.
If it's a habit.
Every multiple times in a week, I think that is weird. And I don't think I've ever checked Chris's phone.
Well, I've checked Zach's before.
Have you?
We had a rocky start. I mean, I did.
Okay, but not in your marriage.
No.
No.
Not in a long time. Not in a very, very long time. But
like, to me, that's just, I don't know. Like,
well, and I mean, if you feel like you have to, there's probably an issue. Like, you're probably
insecure. Yeah.
So, that's projecting.
Well, we summed that right up.
And that's that.
And it's hard being perfect.
Okay, you want to hear what other people said?
Yes, I do. Dying.
Wait, hold on. Oh, you already said yours. I was like, you asked me, but you already said yours.
I asked to answer. I hate those people.
And I was like, I hate projection.
Yes.
This episode is called Hypocrisy.
Oh my gosh.
When people are unable to admit that they don't know something. That's what this person said.
Hold on. My brain is that just not processed.
When people are unable to admit that they don't know something.
So like I don't know how to cook, but I just keep pretending I know how to cook.
Right. Or you keep talking about it.
Like politics, when people.
Oh. This, like, a comment says, to build on this point, people who are opinionated on a subject where they either know nothing about or regurgitate points off of select news sites or feeds.
Political. That's 100% what that was. Yep.
Let's see. The next person says mocking someone else's achievement, or i.e. one-upping. Mocking or one-upping. Oh. I can't stand a one-upper.
I have personal experience with that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I didn't even think about that when I said it, but I can't stand someone who can't just, like, both of our lights can shine and it doesn't make the other one dimmer. Yes.
Well, and that's what I was, like, trying to say the other day. Like, if you're truly happy with you and yourself and life, then you want to see everybody happy.
Then you are truly happy for other people.
Everybody happy. Like, about everything. Like, it's just weird to me that there are people inside that truly struggle with that. Again, I'm just perfect.
that are actually upset about other people doing well.
Yes. I in my brain.
Like, they literally, I think they get, like, angry about it. That's one-uppers to me. Yeah. And I've met, like, I've worked with one-uppers. Like, I've known a lot of one-uppers where I'm just like, really?
It's exhausting.
It is exhausting.
So that's something, too, that I have to, like, when I lay down at night, or, like, maybe, so I do get frustrated with people like that. Yes. Very frustrated.
Yes.
But I try to remind myself at night, like, when I lay down, I truly think, this episode sounds like, follow me if you want to know how to live your life
at Tristina Lieber.
But when I lay down, I truly am happy for everything. I'm like, wow, like, look at everything we've accomplished. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, look at this life. But I feel like when those people, those one-uppers lay down, they have to be exhausted of, like, keeping up with the Joneses and the trying to decide who tomorrow I'm going to be like. You know what I mean? I feel like they, and that's where I feel sad for those people, because I'm like, you have to be so sad inside.
Right.
So I don't know.
I think
maybe I'm pretty sure I just walk through rainbows and butterflies all the time now. I'm just oblivious.
I know, but isn't it happy over there?
100%. Here for a good time, not a long time.
Yes. No, I do too. I'm the same way. I'm like, it's got to be exhausting. Yeah. Like, that's what I'm like, that's got to be so tiring to just be always upset.
Well, and just with other people.
Yes.
Because there are times that again, so perfect. But I think if situation goes wrong, I think, what did I do wrong? Yeah. And is it me? Like, is this me?
That's automatically my first thought.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, oh, I should have done that.
What did I do? Yeah.
But I just...
Some other people are immediately like, you did this.
Yeah.
They did this. Next. When you're quick to be brutally honest with others but have a meltdown when someone does it back to you. So like when you dish out but can't take it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like
like someone's always critiquing other people, but if they get critiqued about anything, it's like a meltdown.
I'm telling you, all of this is going back to like very similar.
It's very, I mean, let me find a couple more and then I've got so much on it because I've literally been so excited about it. I've just been saving things forever. Always talking bad about others and trying to make them look weak or bad.
Okay, so again, that's weird. And that's something too that I've been very happy.
Why are you so obsessed
with our friend group? Is that I know for a fact, that when I get up and leave, that I'm not a topic of conversation, and 100%. I know that I don't have to sit around and talk about other women.
No.
When they leave or when they're not here.
Yeah.
And I'm very thankful for that. In fact, I almost put that on my post today for your birthday. Like the one person that I don't have to sit around and like gossip with. Like I don't have to.
No, we're just literally over here mock booking trips.
Yeah. But yes.
We just saw that the other day. Imagine not liking me and I'm just over here.
Yeah. Booking vacations like with $7 in my account.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Or sending funny memes. Like that's literally.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Okay. Constantly saying what kind of person you are. If this is what you were saying on social media too. Constantly saying what kind of person you are. If you were, you wouldn't have to tell us. Mic drop.
So I could. So I guess I was also raised like that too, and we're trying to instill in HUD too. If you're good at sports, you don't have to tell people you're good at sports.
100%.
And so when I see, and again, I post all my kids' highlights.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The word I or me or like I count. Maybe I need a life, but I have counted those in people's posts, and I'm like, you turned something that was about someone else and wrote I 14 times. Like, how did you do that? That's a skill. It's a gift. It's a skill. Like, how did you do that?
To make everything about you. Yeah, it is. It really is.
Wild.
Yeah. Or even, like I really do. I post about probably all the boys' games. I post about everything, but I'm like, we had so much fun. They worked so hard.
The team won. I mean,
yes. I mean, yeah.
And again, I love posting. Hud's great catches. Not, okay, that I like live in that Roy City game where Hudson ended the game with an interception.
I lives rent free.
Literally, but it was never Hudson won the game. You know what I mean? That was 5 freaking grueling overtime. You know what I mean? And that's that's how it was presented to him as well. Like,
yeah.
And 100%, that's all he's ever thought of.
A team win, but you can also be excited that like, but every single one of those kids was just as excited as he was. Like,
and that's exactly. So it's wild to me when it's like very. Again, this is maybe me not reading the room. Maybe you guys read my social media very different. So if you do, I am open to suggestions, and I do not live.
I can handle the critique
in oblivious. Just please text it to me like on a Sunday afternoon.
Don't call me. Just text me.
Don't FaceTime me.
Yeah, I looked at my phone the other day because I do keep it on Do Not Disturb.
All the time. It drives me
pretty often.
Nuts.
I'm
like,
people do tell me that, and I'm like,
she's busy.
And I'm like, most of the time I'm not. I'm just trying not to also look at my phone so much.
It makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and so if it's not constantly lighting up, I'm not looking. Anyway, and I had like 4 calls from random people, and I was like, what? Who do you think I am?
Yeah, like, what are you just gonna? Was it like people you knew?
I mean, like one was my mom. I'll talk to my mom. I don't mind talking to my mom, but like a couple were people I knew, and
was it me?
No, you weren't on that time.
Always like, I always had to make sure, like, what time is Zach going to work? And then I'm like, he's about to leave. Hello. He's like, oh my gosh.
I'll never forget when he called and he was like making dinner and he was like, she needs to be with her family now.
I was something important. There was something important that day.
I know. We were talking about something.
I don't know. It's that important.
Okay. Where is... Okay. What insult, this is another Ask Reddit, I'm starting with these, really screams projection of insecurity?
What is the question?
What insult, so what is something that someone says to you that screams like, that they're projecting?
Okay, here we go, ready? I stayed home and raised my kids. I didn't put them in daycare. Immediately, I want to fight you when I hear that.
Mom shaming is literally that may be my biggest pet peeve, actually.
I stayed home and raised okay, so then here's my argument to this. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, we could do a whole episode on this. So for staying home, okay, which again, I'm not knocking anybody that stays home with their kids. No. Amazing, wonderful.
That's what a cool
I stay home
with
most of my kids most of the time right now.
Yeah.
But when you're a brand new mom and you're working and your kid's in daycare, you're typically away from them from a normal work day or normal school day, 7 to 8 hours, right? And then I'm like, okay, but then you're going to put your kid in school when they're 5 and they're going to be away from you the same amount of time this mom is away from her.
Right.
So is the school raising their kid now?
Right.
Because who's raising the kid? Because
But you're at home.
Yeah, well, no, the time is different. You know what I mean? The time that you're away from your kid at the same amount of time that this mom is. So who's raising the kid now? The teacher?
Yeah.
Like the logic doesn't transfer.
But it's not the same.
How is it not?
I'm just saying. No, that's not what I'm saying.
I'm telling you, I used to fight trolls all the time online because I'm like, that is so hurtful. Like, who says that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I've never. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I got to stay home.
Yes.
Until Noah was like 2. So, because I went backson work when Jackson was like 6 weeks old, and I only worked part-time, but still. And anyway, mom shaming is just really gross to me.
Well, that's to me screams insecure, because I'm like, I, again, was very secure with my choice of working at the time.
Right. Well, and like some people don't have a choice, but some people choose to, and that doesn't mean they like love their kids any less. They just like.
But there's people I've who they are as a person. People tell me, "Oh, I actually like my kids," and I'm like, "What?" I had a mom when I was teaching, tutoring 7 days a week, getting my master's. Bodhi was like still nursing, and she was like, "Are your kids not a good enough reason to stay home?"
What?
And I was like, beep. But now her kids are in full-time traditional school, and I'm like, it's 40 hours a week, ma'am. It's the same amount of time I was away from my kids. Make it make sense.
Are your kids not a good enough reason to homeschool?
What? I'm telling you, I could, and maybe that's where I'm insecure. So maybe that's where insecure's not the right word. Maybe that's where I'm like
triggered.
Triggered's a nice word. Yeah, because I'm just like, and I would never make somebody feel bad about what they're doing for their kids.
No.
You know what I mean? So it's weird to me that people that are so insecure make others feel.
Right, like because that would never be my first, that would never be a thought. So why is that on your brain?
Yeah, like how can I help? What are some things that can I help?
What's your favorite part of, like, why do we have to focus on?
No, I know. Anyways, you just triggered me, so I apologize. Sorry, I apologize for that rabbit hole I'm on.
That would be... I'm just thinking of all new names for the podcast. The rabbit hole.
Okay, so Chris opens the bar, and so...
Oh, I already know.
What is it?
The loophole?
Okay, it's kind of a dumb name, but he thinks it's so funny. Is it like a loophole, like you found a loophole in the system?
It's just because it has his name in it, and it has your name in it. That's all. It's just like, it's a phrase with his name in it.
But like loophole is like, I found a loophole in the system.
Yeah, I mean...
But I was like,
what does that have to do with drinking? I have no idea, But now you got to open a bar called the Loophole. And
Morgan Wallen can throw all the chairs he wants off the bar.
Yeah, you could have a drink called like the Broadway chair.
Oh my god. Shh.
Trademarked.
Oh my god, we should make those. We could call it the Broadway chair.
Oh my gosh. If you heard this, no you didn't.
We have to find on Amazon little chairs for our drinks.
Yes.
Shut up.
All right.
Oh my god.
Add to cart. Anyway, before we go down a rabbit hole again. This is insults. Okay. The screen projection.
Okay, so yeah, that was to me was my insult.
Mom shaming. Weight jokes. That's what it says. It goes both ways. I had an obese friend make fun of me for being underweight, and a former, and someone who was skinny make fun. It's like it goes both ways.
Yeah, I agree. Like,
body shaming of any kind. Because I don't notice people's weight. You know what I mean? Like. I posted a TikTok sound the other day, and it was like, I have not once ever like looked at my friend and thought, man, her arms look bigger. You know what I mean? Like, I have never looked at another person and been like, they look way heavier. Ever.
Nope.
But then like, that's always something I'm worried about. And then I'm like, but why? I told you, I'm physically insecure.
You're like personally. See, again, you're like the prettiest person I have. Like,
but even as like, it's the projection part that bothers me. I would never be like, so she's lost. I don't know.
That's where like, especially when I was teaching, because you see it with kids a lot.
Yep.
And my little brother, people called him they called him, I won't even say the word, the FAT word. I hate that word. I hate that word.
Know, yeah.
And so I think maybe that's like really, because, we teach the kids, you don't have the jurisdiction to ever make somebody feel bad about what they look.
Right.
Yeah. I don't care. I don't care if they have 7 arms.
Yep.
Hi. Yeah. I'm like, no. Okay, maybe you could look.
I was going to say, hi. What's just wrong with me?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, that's one of those weird things that I could never imagine
commenting on. Or yeah, especially like now again, back to social media, it makes it so easy. People just sit on their keyboards and they feel free to comment on anything and say any mean thing that comes to mind. And I can't imagine someone who just sits on a keyboard all day and makes like hate comments or you know what I mean?
I got into it with people about Morgan Wallen.
Did you?
Yes.
It's been bothering me.
Well, and then I had to delete them because I'm like, you know what? You're not worth it. You're not worth it. You're not worth my energy.
Mm-hmm.
Because the same thing, and I would never again, and that's where I don't get it.
Yeah.
People that, maybe it's because we work with kids.
Yeah.
I can't type something outrageous online and
just to be careful.
Feel like it's appropriate.
Right.
So that's always weird to me when people just put these off the wall comments. I'm like, oh, ma'am, do you not have a job? Are you raising your kids?
Are you at home?
Yeah. Or somebody. Oh my gosh, I have found our chairs.
You're looking at chairs. Oh my gosh.
It's dolls for dolls.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to think like what drink we could make. Like what color does the drink?
Oh, it's gonna be like like the tequila sunrise, like the
with that little bit of red.
Oh yeah, with a little bit of orange juice, pineapple.
Okay, I need it to be next Friday.
It's a lot of sugar.
You can do
2 times 2 times 1.4 centimeters. Oh my god, they're literally teeny tiny.
Oh my gosh. Can we pack that? Do we have room in our suitcase to pack those?
They'll go in my pocket.
Okay, perfect. Stay tuned. I'll post on Instagram next week our Broadway chair beverage.
But if I see it before it,
I'm coming after you. This will come out this Friday. We leave next Friday. Shh. Okay, this is from Ask Men. So there's a whole Reddit thread that's
from men.
It's asking men. So women can ask, but it's supposed to be answers from men.
Okay,
is the goal. And the question is, what do you do when others project their insecurities onto you? So like, how do you handle it, basically? And they said, I've recently discovered in therapy that a lot of the insecurities I carry are what people project onto me. For example, sometimes I'll think that how I spend my time truly isn't important because people always seem to comment on how busy I am, or will make passive-aggressive comments like, when can you take time out of your illustrious career to meet up with an old friend? Mm-hmm. That's just one example, but my schedule seems to get thrown in my face the most, even though I don't carry on like I'm the busiest person in the world or even act like I can't be bothered. How do you deal with people projecting insecurity onto you?
Is that the question?
Mm-hmm. So how do you respond if someone is projecting?
Literally like, for example, ignoring. Literally, I don't mind cutting anybody out. Now, I will say immediately, it bothers me more than it should. Like, those comments used to literally drive me nuts. Mm-hmm. Hey, those are the thoughts that used to keep me up.
Yeah, just like fester.
Because I'm like, who would say something like that? Like, so I think that, but then I just avoid, I get to a point where I'm like, you know what? I don't like feeling frustrated or upset. Mm-hmm. So then I just cut that person out immediately. And
that's growth.
Whether that means like deleting them from social media, deleting them from my phone, I don't have a problem.
From my real life.
Yeah, I don't.
That's the easiest part.
Yeah, I don't mind. I truly don't mind doing that.
And I didn't always used to be that way.
Really?
I think I've talked about on here, especially like I used to be such a people pleaser to the point where it was like dangerous to my health. Like I just did things other people wanted. And I was so miserable. And so I think getting to a point where now I'm like,
which is so wild because you've motivated. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you don't want to talk to me anymore? Okay. Like, I will not lose sleep.
Yeah.
I won't lose sleep for anything. I love sleep. But
same. Oh.
But I don't mind exactly the same. Like, I don't mind.
That's how I have to do it.
If you have a problem with me, okay, goodbye. Like, you're free to leave. I'm never going to beg anyone to be in my life.
When that like busy schedule, like, okay, I guess I'm too busy. It's almost like
I am busy.
It's like turning it around. Like, okay, if you're gonna make those comments, like, okay, I guess you're right. Passive aggressive comments back.
And that's why I like our friends also is because I feel like when we get to see each other, it's such a treat. Like when we're all get to be together, it's rare and it's such a treat. And no one is ever like, God, thank you for finally like making time for me.
When that most of them understand how busy and how that they don't take it personal. And I think that's a big thing too, is you can't take it personal.
Yes.
You can't take
anything personally unless, but it's there are some personal things, I guess. Well, I'm just like, I guess you can do things personally, but
they understand that the intentions are not from an ill place, but
yes. Anyway, this person said, cut them out of my life, ? As soon as I notice that a person is having a negative impact on my well-being with passive-aggressive comments or other equally shitty things or worse, I just put them into the, unfortunately, an idiot category. This category brings with it less contact or no contact at all, and I stop taking them seriously.
Yes.
Boom.
Yeah, I think that mic dropped. I think that's it.
That was the top comment.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I don't think... Because at some point... It's like toxic. It becomes a toxic.
Yep. Okay, now we're going to get into some stories.
Oh,
These are my favorite.
Are the stories?
Because sometimes I'm like, people like this really exist. Like, this is real.
Oh,
95% of the time.
That's the craziest part.
And people are actually upset about these things. Okay. Am I the jerk for telling my friend her insecurities are annoying? Feedback? No? Here we go.
I don't know if I could ever say that to you.
Let's see.
But then again, you wouldn't be my friend.
That's very true. Hi. Hi. So my friend and I recently had a falling out. My friend, Megan, is a beautiful woman, but she has always had self-esteem issues and tends to take them out on her relationships, both platonic and romantic-wise. Oh, sorry, let me catch my breath. Back in high school and college, if we would go out, she would tell us what to wear and what not to wear, and if someone wore something she didn't like, she would not go because she felt like the ugly friend. Oh, gosh, this is already like...
I feel like I know this person.
Romantic-wise, I can't ever imagine telling a friend you can't wear that because I feel ugly. What?
I've had friends.
Okay. This is when I'm like, what?
I've had friends.
Romantic-wise, she tends to be extremely controlling and no one can talk to her at the time boyfriends because she'll think they're trying... no one can talk to her at the time boyfriends because she'll think they're trying to steal him from her. I had to read it correctly.
I cannot stand those.
No one wants your man.
That part.
Yeah.
Talk, please.
I'm so obsessed with my man.
Seriously, like I couldn't imagine being so possessive like that, but it is what it is.
It's been like that since I've known her, and it has ended up with her losing a lot of friends and partners. I understand being insecure. We've all been there, so I try to be there for her, but last night I couldn't take it anymore. Meg has been going out with a guy for almost 2 months, but nothing official. According to her yesterday, they went out to eat, and the guy wouldn't stop staring at the waitress and left her a way too big of a tip. Then, according to Megan, she officially broke things off because she noticed when they were back at his place, he hadn't deleted his social media like she asked him to.
Oh.
Last night she came to my apartment crying because she was never going to find someone to respect her boundaries. Tried consoling her and...
2 months, and she asked...
Trying to see her point of view, and then I suggested therapy.
Is that how I ended?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Am I the jerk for telling her insecurities are annoying?
No. I think she handled that well.
Yeah.
Like therapy?
Therapy.
Deleting your social media after 2 months is wild.
Deleting? Like what?
For what?
Why? Why can't he have social media at all?
See, again. But I have had friends that are like...
Controlling like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be the ugly friend. And again, I'm so naive that I'm like, okay, sure, I'll change. Like,
Someone has asked you to change?
Yes. Yep.
Really? 100% in real life? Yep. Someone has asked you to change?
Yep, in college. Mm-hmm.
What? Was this the same person we talked about the other day?
No.
Answer the door.
Mm-hmm.
Answer the door.
What?
Never mind.
Oh my
Off the air.
No, I don't think I've ever mentioned this person, but yeah, it's a real thing. But now looking back, I'm like, oh.
Makes sense?
Yeah. Is that a train?
That is a train, sorry.
You live by a train?
I guess so.
I love trains.
Usually it's ambulances and stuff we can hear because we live by the hospital.
Oh.
So it's always like sirens and stuff. But
man, I was like, is that...
It's a train.
Am I exhausted? I thought I saw a cat today at work, and I jumped, and the kids were like, "What?" I was like, "I thought that was a cat." It was like a basket. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It's been a long day."
Continue.
Yeah. What were you saying? I was like,
"What French? Didn't you tutor someone in French one time?"
Oh, listen.
Didn't you? Yes. Am I wrong?
No. So they went to a French school, so they would randomly start speaking French.
Oh.
And I would just.
Okay, I thought you were tutoring someone in like a French session. No, I was like, I don't know how.
I've had children bring in stuff, and I'm like yesterday, I had one of my favorite students bring in Algebra 1, and I was like, let's see if we can learn this together. I'm like, it was so funny. So I emailed her mom. I was like, this is really out of my specialty realm, but so anyways,
I tried.
Not a cat.
Not a cat. The top comment just says, "Not the jerk. You were giving her honest support." I can't read today, apparently. But unfortunately, you can't help people who don't want to help themselves. You sound like a good friend.
But again, why is that girl not going to bed saying, "Is it me? Is it me?
Am I the problem?"
I mean, is it a narcissist move? Like, I mean, are you not laying down and saying, "Hello"? Like, you wouldn't stop looking at when I was waiting tables at the airport, this girl chewed me out one day because she said that I was looking at her husband.
No way. And again, I cannot believe these things have happened in real life.
Chris is always like, I need a camera because he's like, I don't believe you. And I'm like, babe,
I believe you, but like,
I'll never forget where I was. And I was like, so then moving forward, I was so self-cautious about looking at like.
You only look at the women?
Yeah. So I'd be like, what do you need to drink? Can you ask him what he needs?
Yeah.
Because it used to freak me out.
Yeah.
And she got up and left. I'll never forget it. She got up and left the restaurant, and I was like, can I get
Did he leave then right after?
To-go box? He paid the bill. He was like a normal person. I'm in a Chili's polo plate. Weird stuff. I'm telling you. And that's why I'm just rainbows and butterflies.
And you're like, you too? Okay, what?
Because and then I went home, and I think I was dating Chris at the time, because I went home and explained it, and he was like, it's natural for you to look at like
both people that you're waiting on,
or just like you're more drawn to look at the opposite sex. You know what I mean?
I mean,
and he's like, it's just like natural, I guess, for you. And I was like, yeah, I mean,
or he was like talking more. I remember, I waited tables for a long time, and sometimes the woman's not like saying anything, and he's doing all the ordering, or he's,
that's just weird. People are weird.
And if you're paying the bill,
people are weird.
People are wild.
Not us.
Okay. Am I the jerk for telling my sister to stop projecting her insecurities onto other women?
Oh.
This is an intense one. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
My sister and her husband are going through very public marital issues. To give you the condensed version, basically my brother-in-law, my sister and husband, so yeah, the sister's husband, was caught cheating on my sister by my wife. So his wife caught the brother-in-law cheating during an event she happened to be working. She's a bartender. My wife immediately told my sister in private without telling my brother-in-law that she knew. So like she just went straight to the wife and was like, this is what I saw. Didn't confront the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My sister proceeded to get very angry with my wife, accusing her of ruining her marriage.
Oh.
This culminated in my sister breaking down and screaming at my wife during a family dinner, calling her a whore who likes to break up marriages and a person with no hobbies.
So they're not even blood related.
No, they're sister-in-laws. It's like the sister of the husband. Yeah.
I always try to like put it into my.
I know. I try to keep it. So she told her what she saw, and she attacked her. Has not said anything to the husband. Okay. My sister's very public rant about my wife led to my brother-in-law admitting in front of my family members that he did in fact cheat. This, of course, led to more drama. So he's like, "No, really, it was me."
Yeah. Hi, it's me.
Oh, that reminds me, this is a whole
rabbit hole.
When we leave for Memphis, Taylor Swift's new album comes out that day. So on the plane,
I'm listening to Nate Smith the whole way.
Okay. Immersion, just like immersion.
Oh,
it's like you're trying to like immerse yourself in his music.
Is that the name of the album? I was like, I don't remember seeing that.
It is now.
Is that going to be our hashtag?
Are you trying to immerse yourself in his music to prepare?
I'm telling you.
He's the one I know the least amount, so I probably should too.
Okay, but we know more songs than I thought I knew.
I thought I didn't know any. I was like, no. Yeah. My 11-year-old. I was like, I don't know Nate Smith. And he goes, yes, you do. And he played me like 3 songs. And I was like, okay.
And the world on fire. That one? Yeah, I've been singing that one all day.
You're already immersing yourself.
Oh, are you kidding? I am going to be belting it.
Jackson told me if I listen to I Deserve a Drink by Morgan Wallen one more time, he's going to get out of the car.
Stop.
So.
Are you into that song?
Yes. That's my current favorite. You know,
really?
I get one. Yeah. You don't like that one?
I mean, okay, so I'm not even lying to you. This is going to be so bad. So I listened to Morgan Wallen every day.
I remember.
All day for like 2 years. And so now it's like, when I put it on, I'm like, okay, let's go to the next song. And so I find myself skipping. I'm not there yet. But I found this new person, and I have to tell you what his name is. Tucker Wetmore. You
sent me a screenshot today, but I haven't listened to anything yet.
He sounds just like Morgan. I'm not convinced it's not Morgan.
Like an alter ego?
Wetmore.
Okay.
Wetmore.
Anyway, okay, here we go.
Yeah, anyways,
sorry,
rabbit hole.
Taylor Swift. Okay. You said hi, it's me on the phone. This all happened a few months ago, and as far as I can tell, my sister and her husband are not going to split up.
Okay.
After this whole situation, I decided to distance myself from my family for a little bit. I thought that my sister needed time to process everything, and I didn't think it was fair to my wife to subject her to my sister's rage. I sent a long text message essentially telling her that I wanted her to sincerely apologize to my wife. My sister apologized, and I thought it would be the end of it.
Crazy. Once.
My dad invited my wife and I to celebrate his birthday. I knew that everyone would be there, including my sister and her husband, so I was a bit hesitant to go. First of all, props to this guy for being like, wife first, y'all are crazy. Okay.
Chris does a good job of that.
But my wife assured me that everything would be all right.
Not that his family's crazy. That's not what I meant.
For standing up for you in every situation. He does.
I just claim that.
To start, everything was going well. My sister practically avoided us, which I didn't mind, and my brother-in-law was glued to her side the entire time, so there wasn't much drama. Everyone was cordial towards one another, and no one mentioned my brother-in-law's infidelity. Successful outing. At one point, I think my wife asked my brother-in-law to move over so that she could sit down. She's currently on crutches. And when my brother-in-law got her a chair and helped her sit down, my sister got extremely mad at my wife for being too friendly with her man, her exact words. My wife was confused and explained that she just wanted a seat, but my sister wasn't having it. She started full-on yelling for doing what she always does and ruining other people's relationships. I can't even read it with a straight face. My sister has a loud voice, so everyone stopped and looked at her and my wife. My wife was pretty embarrassed and just muttered, sorry, and even wanted to go stand up, but I butted in and told my sister to stop yelling and acting extremely insecure in front of other women and go to counseling or something. My sister ran out of the room crying, and my wife and I left. Am I the jerk?
No, that lady sounds like a nut.
Okay, so many thoughts. I don't even know.
Can't put into words.
Yeah. The husband she sounds
nutty.
Crazy. The husband was cheating. She stayed. He stayed.
And it's always somebody else's fault. They're projecting.
It does not ever mention once that she was mad at her husband who did and admitted to the cheating
for the one time that she knows of.
Right.
What's the
top comments? Not the jerk. Text your brother-in-law and suggest that if he stops sleeping around, that might make things better.
I would so that's one of those things again where I just cut people out. I would be like, I'm not doing this.
No contact.
You're not gonna ever make me feel bad about myself for something I didn't do.
Yeah. The wife sounds so she's like, no, it's okay, we can go. Yeah, it's your family.
Keeps going along with it. Yeah, that's not me.
And then, yeah, being yelled at one time like that, I would have been like, okay, bye.
Yeah, I'm trying to have your back. And not even going. That was a girl code thing. Went straight to her
sister-in-law and said, hey,
this was going on.
Yeah. You okay with it?
It sounds like, no, I got something in my eyeball. It sounds like, though, that the sister-in-law has something with her husband's brother. Oh, my God. His sister has a problem with the wife.
Right.
That's where it sounds rooted in. It sounds like...
Maybe she's jealous of how their relationship is good and hers isn't. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So she's projecting. Yeah. Hot word. Projecting.
Rabbit hole.
Hold on, let me find another one.
Oh my goodness, I have something in my eyeball.
Okay. Here's a good one. This is from the thread Social Skills.
Okay. I don't have any of those.
I'm like, do people go here to find some?
Actually, send me that website.
Do you not ever just sit and read Reddit?
Absolutely not. Then what would I do with my 3 hours of TikTok?
You just split it in half. You can find this is just TikTok but reading.
See what?
And you like to read now.
I do. Yeah, it's almost summertime. It's almost book season.
I know. My goal is 50, and I'm at 9.
This summer?
The year.
Oh, I was like, what?
Well, I did get through 29 last summer, so.
I need a Kindle.
The app on your phone is free.
I know, but I feel like it would just look like I was constantly looking at my phone. Like,
so I feel that way sometimes when I'm in public. Like, I sit at Noah's Agility and read, and I'm sure they're like, that mom is just like, scroll, but it's free.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I don't really care what you think of me.
Yeah, so get that app. Okay, anyway. This question is, why do people hide their insecurities? Why do you think people hide their insecurities?
Okay, I don't know. Do people? I don't know, because I think it goes back to that I need to look as perfect as possible, and so I am not upfront, honest. Your true, authentic self. I mean, you telling me that you're insecure, which shocks me.
But I'm okay like saying that.
But though. Authentic, you're like authentic to yourself. So I think that people hide their insecurities because they are insecure. Have you ever been to like looking at the definition, and it's like the definition is like to turn, and it's like to turn, and I'm like, what if you don't know what turn means? Have you seen like the definitions like repeated of what the word says? I
don't think I've ever seen that in a thing, but that's like my not biggest pet peeve. I don't ever let my students, it's like we go over vocabulary on like Mondays, and I'll be like, what is this week? It was like tucked, and they're like, when you tuck it in.
Yes,
I'm like, I said, tell me what it means without the word. And they're like, I mean, they're 8, but like,
I know I've seen stuff like that on homework. That's what
I'm like, nope, immediately no.
That was my answer to that question.
Why do they have? Because they're insecure.
Because they're insecure. They have insecurities.
So their question is more than just a question. It says, most people I meet seem quite confident on the outside, but when I get to know them on a deeper level, I find out that they have many problems and are often very insecure about themselves. Again, everybody. So my question is, why do they act so confident when they aren't? I'm insecure too, but I don't fake anything. I walk in an insecure way. I don't take up space. I smile at everyone out of insecurity. I'm true to who I am. Most people don't act like this, but in their core, I found that they're just like me. So what is their confidence act all about?
Is there any?
Top comment says, let's say you're a normal person trying to make a friend. Will you choose the person that always avoids photos and gatherings because they don't like their body? Or you choose the normal, quote unquote, normal person looking confident and always photobomb your pictures that is always there at every party? Even though the second person might despise how they look, but they hide their feelings in order to have you as a friend.
It's a very interesting perspective.
That is interesting.
But
I don't know that doing things despite an insecurity is hiding it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you maybe just do it anyway, even if you're not confident about it. You know? I don't super like taking pictures, but I take them. I still want the memories.
You don't like taking pictures?
Of my face, it's fine.
I have like 7,000 pictures of us.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Thank God. I'm learning so much. Is this an intervention?
No, I'm fine with taking pictures and just like, is it my, you know?
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
I don't like taking a whole picture of my face.
But I don't think I'm being fake in smiling in a picture, even though I don't feel, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's hiding an insecurity. I think that's just living life despite an insecurity.
I don't even know if that's like a fair question.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's a question that makes sense.
Right. I don't think people are, who's going to be like, I don't like my body. I'm insecure about my smile.
Like, because then I feel like that's projecting. I feel like that's, I don't feel like it's, I don't feel like you don't project your insecurity on other people, therefore hiding it.
It's such like a...
Yeah, that's a weird question. I don't even know if that's a question that makes sense.
The other top comment says, because sometimes it's not anyone else's business to see our insecurities. Like...
Yeah, but then I'm like, then again, I'm left with dealing with, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, why do they act like that?
Right.
Because it's none of my business? No, you're on my nerves.
Lose.
Rainbows and butterflies.
Ooh, okay. This one is asking men, what insecurities do you often see in women that men really couldn't care less about?
Oh.
Okay. You ready for these?
Yeah.
Men, you know.
Bless it.
The first one says, periods.
Okay, this is something that's like worth talking about because I had always been like ashamed. Not ashamed, not the right word. Just kind of like quiet and never said anything about it.
Right, like when you're buying tampons.
Yeah, Chris is like, I had to call Chris the other day and I was like, hey, what's the name of that brand of tampons you buy me? Because he's the only one that buys them for me now.
Oh, that's so nice.
And so I'm like, wait, what is the name of that one? Or, you know.
What's that brand I like?
Now they have like numbers.
They have numbers?
Like on the.
Oh, mine are still like super regular.
So like the pads have like numbers now.
Okay.
Yeah, and so he'll be like, you're, you know, and he'll tell me the number, and I'm like, okay.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, and Chris is like, it's normal, like, you're a woman.
It's a literal body function. I'm very honest with, like, the boys about it. Like, I think they should just know. Like,
I would have never thought.
Know how babies are made yet, but, like, I'm like, if there's not a baby in my body, like, my body gets rid of where it was supposed to be. I bleed for a few days. Like, very honest.
Yeah, and I think that's important. I didn't know how important it was until I met Chris, who I was like, this is not embarrassing. Like, he always has tampons in his car and stuff for me. Like, yeah.
Okay. That was the top one.
And I think that's more common than we think.
Right.
Like, I don't think guys really care.
Yeah. This one says pores. Your skin. What is with women's obsession with their pores? First of all, I don't have an obsession with pores. I couldn't even, like, can you see pores?
No, it's kind of gross. I don't like thinking about it. Actually, go to the next one. That's making me vomit.
You start gagging. Okay.
Not that I care about it. It's just those whole...
Your sense of humor. Who's insecure about their sense of humor? I'm funny.
We are a hoot.
I am so funny.
You're going to find out next week.
Can't wait. Oh, gosh. A lot of them are physical, but not quite appropriate for the internet.
That's what I immediately went to Chris. Like, I'm always like, I look ugly. And he's like, it was, we were two separate things. It was this girl, and it was, we were watching a TikTok together, not on our shared Facebook account.
Shared TikTok.
Yeah. And this girl, it was like, he married this, but he met me like this, and it was like where she's like in pajamas and like a sweatshirt, and then she flips and she's like all dressed up.
Yeah.
And he's like, she looked better before. And I was like, huh? And he was like, yeah, like, I hate when you wear, like, I like when you...
What's that Drake song?
I was like,
sweatpants, hairband, chilling with no makeup on.
But sometimes I was like I'll go home and I'm like, gosh.
Zach's always like, you don't really need to wear makeup, and I'm like, well, that's for me. First of all, I love it.
That's it. Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, your makeup's a little different than mine,
but seriously, I don't care. Like, I'm not afraid to go out. It's not like I feel like I need it.
Yeah.
I will show up to the store with nothing on.
But I think it's weird, and I don't know if now that Zach's normal, Chris is normal.
Yeah.
How many guys prefer, you know what I mean? Like,
it's interesting, because I'm sure there's lots of guys that are like, no, I prefer you, like, you know.
Fully dolled up?
I think there is, yeah.
Really? Man, but you don't wake up like that. You don't look like that 90% of the time.
No, very rarely.
So I'm like, do they really care? I don't know, maybe.
Most, in my opinion, don't.
Yeah, I think so.
I think most prefer you more natural, but
that's interesting.
There are some.
Yeah.
This guy says outfit repeats, which is funny to me, because I'm like, I wore that at the last function, and Zach's like, what?
I wear the same 3 things. I got a new shirt for being at the halftime show. I don't have it on, but I packed it.
What's that called?
The beanbag.
Beanbag toss.
Oh my god! I'm telling you, I was still mortified. It's like I planned this whole thing, and she's down there playing cornhole.
My favorite thing was me and Chris were like, they're gonna mess up her name. They're gonna mess up her name, and then they didn't.
The guy practiced. He did not laugh at my joke. When he was like, what is your name? And I told him, and he was like, I said, it's more of a suggestion. And he was like, so what is your name?
He's like, no, I need to.
Yeah, seriously.
This is my job right now?
Yeah, he's like, we've got like 30 seconds. What is it?
You're like, can we do this together?
Yeah, I was like.
They're like, no.
Ma'am.
No. Let me find. So like Reddit, it's like comments on comments of the same post, and I have to like scroll to find one that.
Like matches?
So that's when. Sometimes it takes me a second. I'm not special. I just. Oh, some of these.
Okay. I can't imagine.
Men don't care about anything. Basically, they just
pretty much.
That's basically what it is. Okay.
I would think that's fair. Rainbows and butterflies in their brain too.
Seriously, I think they think about way less things than we do.
Yes. Okay. We could just finish on that comment, because I can tell you, I can talk all night on this one. Because one day Chris gets mad at me when I leave like the cabinets and the drawers open. And one day my mom explained it to him. She was like, it's because she's thinking about, she's got to make lunch, and then after lunch, she's got to go get the backpack, and after backpack, she's got to do the homework. And it's like, she's always thinking 5 steps ahead, whereas you're like, sandwich, shut the door.
I compare it as like tabs on a window, like on a computer screen, like
constantly.
I feel like I have 100 tabs open all the time, and like men have 1 open at a time. Like, and then they close it, and then they open another one.
So what? I'm going to make lunch. And they go in there and make lunch.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, I can make lunch. And while the eggs are cooking, I'm going to run and start the dryer because the dryer needs to go. Yep. And it's like yesterday, it was funny. I was making the kids lunch, and then I was like, oh, I have time. So I ran and started doing my hair, and then Hudson's like, did you forget about the quesadilla? Oh, and I was like, oh my gosh.
You're great at multitasking until it's food. What was the bird?
Yeah, I guess I should actually quit. Instead of, you know what's so funny? No. Not cooking, but if I could do any career and money was not a thing, I'd want to bake. Like, I'd want to make, like,
really?
Cakes.
This is something new.
Cupcakes. And Chris is like, bro, let the dream go. He's like,
don't pursue.
He said, anything else you can do. He's like, but that's not it. I'm like,
okay, now I need you to bake me something.
I can't.
Really?
Have you not seen my...
But you just like it?
I just like the idea of it. Like, my algorithm right now on Facebook is the hydraulic press and then icing cupcakes. Oh. Chris is like, I was like, if you want to know what I'm doing on my phone, I'm watching this hydraulic press squish an onion.
So satisfying. They do like crayons and stuff, and it's like...
The what? What did you just say?
Crayons.
I cannot be friends with somebody that says crayons. Crayons.
What do you call it?
Crayon.
Crayon?
You know, you said crayon. It's like you're saying a one syllable word.
Crayon.
No, crayon.
Like CRAN, basically. Crayon.
Yeah, it's crayon.
No.
Okay. Do you say forward?
Forward?
Okay. Whew.
Forward? Is it?
No, when they say what do they say? And that drives me nuts. Forward. I think we've talked about this before. Forward.
Oh.
Like move forward.
Forward. Oh. Like there's no R.
I'm like, no ma'am.
We're friends. No, forward.
No, I'm deleting you from my phone. When people say that.
Can't. Well, I don't have a super strong accent. Like either though. So I say things a little bit differently. I also have weird things with like consonant. Zach makes fun of me.
Like what?
Also a touch of the tism. It's Theo Vaughn.
Yes.
Which 100%. I literally, we were teaching autism awareness, and
you're like no, I 100%. I think we're all just walking around.
It was like sensitivity to overhead lights, and Zach gets so mad at me because I'm like, I cannot have overhead. This kills me, but I have to.
I just told my student that today because we were like halfway through the lesson, and I was like, hit the light, and I was like, I knew there was fake light on in here.
Yes,
there was like two separate, and I didn't realize it. I was like, she was like,
oh, my students know. Because it's split into two, in a classroom, you cannot turn the front lights on.
Yes.
At all.
That was how it was today. And I was like, I knew there was...
Makes my eye twitch.
Same.
And the back ones I only have on in the morning when they're first coming in. And then I turn it off and Yes, it is. I was teaching, and I didn't know until the other day. And I was like, oh. It's me. Hi.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I hate fake lights. And I hate making eye contact. I would rather chew glass than make eye contact with you. We were making eye contact, but you're like, now that I'm used to you.
This is different.
Now that I'm used to you, it doesn't weird me out.
You're
but
an exclusion.
I go, there's times where I've walked out of stores and I'm like, I didn't see what anybody looked like in there. I couldn't tell.
I try to
you
make myself, I have to count though. I'm like, okay, look for a few seconds. Look away. Like, I can't.
Really? I won't even make that effort. I'm like, yes, I'll take this.
Well, I mean, like today I had a meeting with a parent and I had only met them like once. So I'm like.
No, the worst part of teaching is not the children.
Parents.
It's the moms. I told you I had an interview, and the lady asked me what the worst part of children were, and I said moms. Mm-hmm. And then she was like, "No, ma'am."
Oh,
okay. I was like, "Is that?" Oh, I meant like sometimes they spread syrup on the tables.
You're like, there's nothing bad about kids.
Yeah, literally nothing. They're moms.
Which in well, I mean, people know it, but in Caddo, like, it's not a super huge problem. Like for the
moms
most part.
Or syrup.
Moms.
Do you say syrup or syrup?
Syrup.
Where does it go? The fridge or the pantry?
The pantry. God.
It goes in the fridge.
You have cold syrup?
All the time.
We heat up our syrup.
Okay. From the fridge.
Ew.
Where does your ketchup go?
In the fridge.
Oh, that's where it's supposed to go. Where does your jelly go?
In the fridge.
Okay, that's right.
Syrup though? No. Never.
Syrup goes in the fridge.
Never have. In California, we didn't put our syrup in the fridge.
Did you have air conditioning?
I think we had it, but we didn't really use it. It never got above like
when
80.
We visited California, I was shocked that there was no air condition. Same when we went to Boston. There was no air conditioning in any buildings. I was like,
they don't need it.
So
Fans.
I was like, windows. I had a sweat mustache. So
last time I went to California, which we're going. we got off the plane and I was like, the air is so like not thick with moisture. Like it's so
fresh.
Yeah, and cold. So it's cold. It's just cold air. And I was like, ooh.
Is it like Florida?
I've only been to Florida to go to Disney that one time, so I don't know. Florida is thick air with nasty.
You don't say nasty and Florida in the same sentence, ma'am.
Yeah, I have weird connotations with. Anyway,
Florida.
Yeah.
What?
Really? Take it or leave it.
I would move
Disney
there tomorrow.
Was fun. I don't know.
Literally move to Florida tomorrow.
Good. Bye.
Or Nashville. Bye. That's gonna keep me up tonight.
If you go to Florida, I'm not going with you. That's all.
I know. That'd just be the end.
No, we just have a long distance relationship. Huh. You can come back and visit me.
What? Really?
I don't like Florida.
Oh my god.
I'll go to Disney World. Okay. Hold on. I got a couple more stories for you. But I gotta. Hold on. I gotta find it again. Tell me more about why you like Florida.
I can't believe you don't like. I'm shocked. A little offended.
Why are you offended? Florida,
I love Florida.
Florida's not a reflection.
I'm projecting on you. This is my projection. Attempt. Is it working?
I mean, no, I still don't like Florida. Okay, here's a reverse because a lot of what we read is about insecure women.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, insecure men. There's nothing freaking worse.
This is from the thread relationship advice.
Oh.
Is always an interesting read. This is titled Advice for Dating an Insecure Man. Dear Reddit.
You break up. You don't do it.
I, 28, am currently dating a nice guy, 32, for about 6 months. And while he's incredibly sweet, able, remarkably intelligent, he is also terribly insecure. This is new to me, as in my previous relationships. My 2 previous long-term relationships, my partners were both secure in themselves, and it's something I struggle with how to deal with. He can become sad and brooding at any perceived slight.
No.
So many reds. Now, for the record, in no way is this passive-aggressive. He never takes it out on me. He just becomes quiet and sad or standoffish if he thinks I'm not enjoying myself or if I'm not happy with something he's done. He'll constantly underestimate himself or suddenly chicken out of taking charge, something he does with both me and his friends. He's most comforted when I'm touching him in some way, holding his hand.
It's me. I'm the man in this one.
I mean, physical touch. Yes, yeah. I mean, like touch. Just put your finger on my kneecap.
Seriously.
Okay. He'll recognize his mood, thankfully, but when I ask if there's anything I can do, he will say, "Don't leave me," and afterwards will constantly thank me for putting up with him. In no way am I putting up with him, because 95% of the time when he isn't down, he's one of the most amazing, dorky, comforting men I've ever met. I feel lucky to have found him. I'm looking for some advice on how best to deal with guys who require a little bit more emotional support than average. Therapy isn't really an option. He'd take the suggestion offensively, I think.
And then it's not the one.
She said, nor after just 6 months do I think it's my place to suggest it. All internet searches treat the behavior as some kind of emotional vampirism. I just want someone who has similar experience with men to lend some advice, or guys with the same low esteem to tell me how your girlfriend helps when it begins to get the better of you. Yeah.
No, no, ma'am. I think that's not a fair quality for, and again, I was thinking in my head, like, thank God, because again, I'm not insecure, but like, I do apologize a lot.
I over-apologize.
You know what I mean? And so I'm like, thank goodness Chris gave me, but then I'm like, that's not a quality I feel like a man should have.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's just being sexist, I don't know, but I would never date somebody like that, ever.
I couldn't.
I can't. Because I need you to reassure me.
We can't be.
We can't be reassuring each other.
No.
So I need you to take charge.
I need you to knock.
But then Chris on the opposite is like, also, I'm like, hey, did the sun wake up with me this morning? Do I hang the stars in the sky? And he's like, I'm not going to say that dumb stuff.
Would you love me if I was a worm?
Oh my gosh. I get so annoyed.
Oh, I know. I'm like, do you love me today? And he's like, I literally married you. Can we
stop? I know. What did I say?
But do you love me?
I said, if you knew what you knew, Dr. Phil always says this. If you knew what you knew today, would you still make the same choice? And he's always like, LOL. Oh my God.
My least favorite response. The top comment says, I will warn you that thinking long-term with a guy like that isn't smart. He's bottling any legitimate criticisms of you inside himself because he's convinced he's lucky to have anyone, but that cannot last. If he continues like this, one day it's going to explode in a way that leaves you wondering if you ever knew him, because you don't. Good luck.
Yeah.
Hey.
I mean, that's when he's not comfortable enough right now to say why he feels like that.
Right. Why does he feel lucky? I mean, every guy should feel lucky to have, you know what I mean? Like, they should feel lucky.
That's right, Chris.
But
lucky.
But yeah, no. No. If it's constant, like, he just withdraws all the time and he's like, I just feel like you're not having fun or you're not enjoying it. I'd be like, well, I'm not now.
Well, that's the thing too. I'll always text Chris like, hey, I'm going to Alyssa's. Is that okay? And he's like, please quit asking me questions. Like, yes.
Hey, I'm going. I'll see you soon. Love you.
Yeah. He's like, why? Quit doing that. Or he's like, I love that you have friends.
But to your point, like, I think it's considerate.
100%. Because I'm still going to be like, no, you can't.
Right.
You're doing what with Jeremy? No.
Come home.
You're not. Just kidding. I'm not crazy.
I love this episode. Okay.
This episode went from I'm perfect to she's a little nutty.
Here's another one. This one's not too long. But it's called I Guess I'm an Insecure Beep. That's the title. From Relationship Advice. Okay. The girl is 25 and the guy is 30. They always give ages here for like context, I guess. I've been giving my boyfriend of 1.5 years a really hard time because I feel insecure about his ex. The insecurity spiraled out of control when I was watching a video of him at a restaurant recently with friends and his ex was there. I was really shocked because he told me he was just with friends and he didn't mention her being there. The fact that he left her out makes me feel suspicious. I've talked to him about it bothering me and he said he went for just his friends, not her. Many days later, though, when this topic comes up again, he said she was the one who really wanted to see him, so she planned that gathering with his friends.
Oh, no.
And he said, since it's been over a year since we broke up, why not? It really bothers me a lot. I don't know how to cope with this. Any perspectives, thoughts, and opinions are appreciated. Immediately no for me, so I don't know.
Yeah, no.
What? Why?
Why are you lying about it? That means there's something still.
You left it out and then you came clean.
But you're still pondering about it later? like, no.
Well, I mean, why? You've got plenty of friends. Why do you need to hang out?
Yeah, no. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No. Because what else are you going to hide?
Nope. Immediately no. So, I don't think you're being insecure. I think you just saw a red flag and you should go.
100%.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. And it's advice, so there's not like a overall vote or anything, but yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let's end on a good one. Am I the jerk for calling my brother a fragile, chauvinist, and insecure? It's a chauvinist. That's chauvinist, right? In the title?
I don't know. Chauvinist?
I think, yeah.
I can teach your kids.
What does that mean again? What's a chauvinist?
Isn't that like where you're like sexist?
I think so. Chauvinist. We're going to learn together. Somebody tells your kid, we're going to learn together.
People don't like me and I'm over here Googling.
A person displaying excessive or prejudiced support for their own cause or group. In particular, a man prejudiced against a woman. Okay.
Got it. Boom.
With that knowledge.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're set up for success here.
2 years ago, my brother Thomas and his then girlfriend moved into our neighborhood. Thomas started attending the same gym my wife, Leah, goes to. Leah is incredibly fit, and Thomas asked her if she could train him, and she agreed. Thomas trains with Leah 3 times a week, and over the 2 years they train together, you can definitely tell he's added a lot of muscle and lost a lot of weight. He looks great, and I can tell that he's happy. As Thomas has improved his fitness, he's gotten a lot cockier. I mean, a lot. He broke up with his girlfriend because he claimed that he was too good for her now. Every time I see him, he's talking about how women are throwing themselves at him, or how his ideal woman can't weigh over 130 pounds. It's annoying and it makes everyone, especially Leah, uncomfortable.
Oh my gosh.
Leah doesn't train him anymore, but they still attend the same gym and usually go around the same time.
Leah's the girlfriend?
His wife.
Oh, okay.
His wife, it's like they're brothers, and his wife trained him. Anyway, Leah is 6 months pregnant and she still works out 5 days a week. She lifts weights lighter than normal and keeps to her regimen as much as possible. Because she's pregnant, she can't complete all the exercises, but she's still incredibly fit. Thomas thinks that she's getting lazy. Hold on. She's 6 months pregnant and working out, but she's lazy. Every time I see him, he makes a snide comment about how Leah is putting on weight or how she's acting like a bum. To me, these comments don't make much sense. Leah is still incredibly fit and active, even pregnant. On some days, he can barely keep up with her. Nevertheless, his comments are disgusting. Leah calls him out and I call him out, but he rarely listens. I don't speak to him much, but Leah does see him at the gym. Thomas and my mom came over to our house unannounced. When they came over, Leah was eating a big bowl of carbonara that I had made, and when she offered them some,
sounds good.
Thomas immediately started ranting. Rather than just say no thank you, he starts yelling about how Leah is getting fat and how she was losing all of her appeal. Or if she was his wife, he'd never let her act like this. It was shocking, and we were both speechless. I told him to get his fragile, chauvinist, insecure ass out of my house and to never return. My mom is telling me I need to apologize. Leah thinks I shouldn't have... Leah, who he called names, said I shouldn't have called him names and should have handled it with more tact.
Absolutely not. See, and the thing is, these stories are hard for me because Chris would never let anybody speak to me like that. Not today, not pregnant, not yesterday. He would never let that happen. So it's hard for me to ever believe that,
well,
you know what I mean?
He's standing up for his wife, and his wife is like, chill. What?
And what sounds like there's something, I don't know, that's weird to me.
Why is he so on her case about,
and why is she taking up for him?
I don't think she's really taking up for... she said she was disgusted. I mean, she said she was disgusted with it. And she, like... I don't know. She stopped... I don't know. I don't get the vibe that they're, like...
It's just weird. It's like a weird loyalty. I just don't understand
the need... Again, the need... Why go out of your way to comment that somebody who's pregnant is gaining weight and she's lazy?
Never.
Like...
And you're a single man?
What?
Bye.
Your ideal woman can't weigh over 130 pounds?
My right leg's out.
I'm like, what?
I just have to take my arm.
What? Again, I just can't believe that this is real people.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. It shocks.
I wouldn't let anyone talk to anybody like that. I mean, yeah, Zach wouldn't stand for it at all. That's a joke. But, like, I wouldn't... if I heard that comment anywhere, I'd be like, excuse me? Like...
Let me get my friend, Alyssa.
Say no thank you. Overall vote, by the way.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. You're onto the same track as this person. He needed to hear it. In case you weren't aware, though, your brother wants to sleep with your wife.
Yeah.
And the writer said, that's unsettling. And it says, no one is this invested in a friend's appearance. Also, her appeal, ew. Carbonara pasta is appealing. Chocolate-covered pretzels are appealing.
That sounds good, though, right?
I'm like, okay. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. That one's weird. Insecurity is loud.
Yes, you're exactly right.
Insecurity is loud.
That's it.
And
I have to remind myself that
confidence is quiet.
That's it. I remind myself that all the time because it feels like sometimes you're being suffocated by other people's loudness. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, it's suffocating sometimes. It's
suffocating. Not for rainbows and butterflies. Not in Memphis. It's not.
Not in Memphis. Oh my God. Stay tuned, dude. What is today? Wednesday?
Yeah.
This time next week, suitcases will probably be packed.
100%. It'll be packed on Saturday.
We gotta leave on what time? We have to be at the airport at what time?
We leave at like 7.
The plane leaves at 7?
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you real quick. I check this all the time. Search.
Oh, that means I probably just won't sleep Thursday night.
No, sis. How do you not?
Because when I'm excited, I just don't sleep.
We leave at 7:21.
Absolutely. So we need to leave at like 5:30, 6 o'clock. Oh my
gosh. Get ready to fly.
Okay, airports.
I love airports.
Let me just side note. Airports are one of my favorite places in the world.
Make sure you have a real ID before you go. What does that even mean?
No paper IDs. No.
Oh.
No
checking
substitute
bags?
IDs.
Checking bags. Start adding bags 24 hours before departure.
You can check in your bags before you... What?
I don't know.
Anyway, who's letting us do this alone?
Yeah, who's 10 days till we come home.
Our husbands are like, yeah, fun.
Oh my God.
Thanks.
Literally 10 days until we come home.
Until we come home?
Yes.
Okay, and that's the hard part.
I know.
I want it to be here, but I don't want it to be here because I don't want it to
That's
be
it,
over.
I know. Anyways, all right. It looks like it's going to be an empty flight, though. Based on, I keep seeing, like, buy my...
Maybe we'll come at you live from...
Memphis.
The plane.
Oh, no. Wait, this is a full flight.
Oh, yay.
Gosh. Anyways.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully, you're not insecure, and we've made you convinced that we are not insecure.
That everything in life is perfect.
We are perfect. That's what you should have learned here.
I look wide on that camera. Come on.
It's the overhead lights.
Is that it? Oh, I look like a linebacker. God. God.
Completely secure. Have a good week.
Yeah, I'm perfect.